Well, as you wrap up the fall here, you got any just kind of general thoughts of things that you maybe liked and did not like?
Yeah, there's the standard don't get too high and don't get too low. So you have this wide gap of guys that played really good and you have guys that struggled, and it's just stick to the process. Let's just continue to win days. I think for them, it's just trusting us coaches, connect with these guys, address areas they need to get better in, and we try to use this next month to make some individual adjustments, and obviously do some things that continue to bring us together as a team. But as a coach, you feel good about the talent you have, the opportunity to coach a lot of older players, which kind of combination of COVID and a couple guys coming off the DL and a couple guys didn't have a great junior year, and now we have a chance to have one of the older teams in college baseball, and that could be an advantage for us. Doesn't guarantee you success, but man, it does give you an advantage when you face adversity and tough times. And so you can go around our field, man. It's a lot of juniors and seniors, and sprinkling a couple young talented guys, and hopefully it leads to a special year.
You had kind of made mention last year, actually at Media Day, that it was, you thought you might have a better idea of what the lineup could look like this year versus even last year. And then you get some of these guys back. Do you still kind of feel that way, or you've got with some of these incoming kids kind of pushing for some spots, kind of make it hard on some of the older guys?
It's better, as you said, hard for the older guys. Just don't get comfortable. No entitlement. You got to earn it, right? I think some things we always say. Earn it every day. No entitlement. Take it personal. These phrases that you can't get comfortable in this game. Even you can make it to the big leagues, you can't get comfortable. So whatever level you're at, high school, college, minor leagues, you have to get better individually, and you have to keep honing your craft. And they're smart. The older guys they're smart. When the sophomore class was like the 3rd ranked recruiting class, and the freshman class is the 10th ranked recruiting class, they see talented young guys around them. They know if they get comfortable when these young guys. So it's good for both of them, because the young guys get to learn by the wisdom and the experience of the older guys, and the older guys get pushed. And as we saw last year, just the bizarre number of injuries, and I always feel good about our depth. What happened behind the plate, I never experienced that. When your first baseman, is starting 4 ACC games in a row, and he did a commendable job, but not good enough when you're facing teams that are going to Omaha. And so, we feel like we got good depth in those positions, but guys got to get better, and hopefully guys can stay healthy in the spring.
I've had some really good days here, especially this weekend, from some of the transfers that you've brought in. You have to feel real good about that, that dive into the portal here and kind of what you've grabbed out of there.
Yeah, because we're proud that we say a developmental program. It doesn't mean we get untalented kids and make them talented. It just means we get good players. Our recruiting classes wouldn't be ranked in the top 20, top 10 as often as they are. But man, the history, the tradition of the development in our program, and that's where our recruiting first starts. Last year, we had to plug some holes, and for us, that's what we'll use the transfer portal as. We're not going to use it as our baseline for recruiting, but we will use it to plug some holes. And so we did that with the 2 position players. Luke Mapleton, the catcher, you got to see him running I think he led Division II baseball in home runs last year, and you saw why. But because we had those injuries, and we don't know where those younger catchers are going to be this year, we had to get an older guy. And then Dylan Hoyt, we needed an older middle infielder, and he came in from day one and gives us that depth, that second and short, that we need. So really happy with the 2 position players, and then the 2 pitchers, Caraba and Gongora. Really good fall. You could just tell guys that have been in college baseball a long time, but like my message out there, just because you had a good fall, man, don't get comfortable. Don't lose your edge. So yes, those 4 guys should really help us this spring.
Can you walk me through a little bit about where you guys go from here now that you've kind of wrapped up this part of fall ball essentially,
Yeah.
and where you guys go from here now.
Yeah, this is segment 2. Segment 1 is individuals, making sure their bodies, arms, they're in shape, ready for the 6-week team practice, scrimmages. Played 2 other opponents, went to the DR. Now we enter segment 3. Some guys will keep going on the field with the pitchers, and all the hitters will still continue to swing and field balls. But now you really focus on their bodies, a little more emphasis in the weight room, and then really it's about adjustments. Now is the time you can get somebody's ear. I think Coach Snyder and Coach Rabel and Coach Williams, I mean, you're coaching them throughout the fall, but you can't just get here off the street and then we start making all these adjustments to you. We hear about our guys going to pro ball. It's like the worst thing to do. Like, take a guy that had ultimate success at this level and then immediately start changing them, because I don't know if they fully buy in. You have to let these guys, you have to let them go through the struggles. You have to let them realize, okay, what I was doing in high school or maybe at this level is not working here. And let them go through the struggles. Then you feel like you have their attention a little more. And then you can address things, and you can work on things, And so that's what we try to do in this next segment 3. A little more specialization, huge emphasis on the body.
And then what does like winter break look like for these kids as you kind of try to keep them dialed in when they're not really here on campus, and you're not with them?
Yeah, it's give or take 3 weeks, and it's crucial weeks because as soon as they get back, you got like 6 weeks to your first game. So you got like 3 weeks till a scrimmage. So they have to be professional, as we call it. We give them good routines. Many guys are here local. Many guys stay here as long as they can. Henry Davis left on December 23rd, and he came back on December 25th. Now, I don't recommend that. Be with your moms and your parents, and be with your families over the Christmas break. But it just showed you that commitment level. And it was only because Henry felt like he needed the facilities and the resources here. So we just encourage these guys. You got to be professional. You can get great work at home, depending on what your community offers and that area. Some kids got to drive an hour or so, but they got to stay after it. I mean, literally 7 days a week. If you're not preparing for the season, you'll show up, you'll be behind, the body will break down, you won't have success. So I enjoy the challenge of motivating them during that winter season, that Christmas break, but also, challenging them and encouraging them. And we communicate a lot during that time. I mean, we have text message chains, and we're communicating every day.
And finally, can you just kind of walk through maybe what your expectations and your hopes are, for the upcoming season after what you've seen this fall?
I think first point, it's about they got to be their best. So our job as coaches, we got to help these kids be their best. And if we can help them be their best, and we can stay healthy, and we can catch a couple breaks, I don't know how we're not making a run to go to Omaha and win a national championship. Now, 305 Division I teams. We feel like we have the talent and the makeup. Now that's a long way off in the distance, but that'll be the ultimate goal. Now we just got to take the steps one day at a time to get to that ultimate goal.
Awesome.